Well, hi, everybody. Good morning. Carolyn and I are coming live this morning with Link Up with Loveworks, our 37th episode from our brand new set, Carolyn, at the Loveworks campus.
For sure. High five, Michael.
High five, air fives.
Air
We
five.
do lots of air fives these days. Well, we are so excited for today's dreamer and doer guest. We always like to say and remind you, though, that Loveworks is a place that we believe that you are never too young. And our guest this morning will certainly prove this. You're never too young to be a dreamer, and you're definitely never too old to get started working on that dream.
For sure. And our hope with with Loveworks is that each week our special guest is going to connect with you wherever you find yourself, and they're going to inspire you to become the best version of yourself for tomorrow.
Well, Carolyn, we call this the Link Up with Loveworks with dreamers and doers. But there's a question I don't think that we've ever asked each other, and it's what we naturally consider ourselves more of. A dreamer or a doer. So let me start first. Carolyn, would you say that you would consider yourself a more natural dreamer, or do you think that you happen to be more of a doer?
I think we're all probably both, but I think I'm a little bit more of a doer. And so, yeah, I think I sometimes get distracted too much in the doing part of things that I forget to dream big or at least side of the dream. But I like doing. I like having a goal and pushing forward. So as soon as I have like a vision, I can move forward.
Yeah, no, that's good. I would say that I feel like I lean more toward today. I lean a little bit more towards the doing side of things, uh, and I have. And at the same time, though, I would say when I was younger, that I was more of a dreamer. And it's kind of funny. My wife and I like to say, like, I'm all about the dream, sharing like the big idea, and something that we kind of banter back and forth with is the encouragement of asking Selah, who is a more natural doer, whenever I express an idea, like a big idea, to kind of lead out with the word "wow." Wow, Michael, that was great. Wow, Michael, that was fantastic. Versus starting out with the how. Okay,
I think
that's
that's a good
that's
hallmark.
great, but how are you going to do this?
I think that's a good hallmark for a doer. They probably usually ask like, but how's that going to happen?
Exactly right.
Well, that's fun.
So, also to let us know if there is a future guest that you would like for us to have on Link Up with Loveworks. We definitely would love to hear who they are and consider them to be a part of our Link Up with Loveworks show.
For sure. And that brings us to our roll call time as well. So if you're out there listening on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, drop it in the comments who you are, where you're from, and you know what you're really grateful for this morning. And we also have a really fun question to warm you up for today's interview. And it does have to do with our special guest. So, Michael, today's question of the day is what is your favorite arcade game?
Wow. Well, I don't know how much people are playing here in the United States arcades. I heard that they're kind of like fading out just a little bit. Although I heard in Japan that there's still like a real thing. I would have to say one of my favorite games is Space Invaders.
Ooh, I love
So,
that.
so I know it's not the most considered the most popular game, but it's up there like I think in the top two or three.
I think it's one of the most well known games.
Well known. Well, Pac-Man I think takes the cake for
It's a
that one.
big one. That's a
So
big
what
one.
about you, Carol?
So I love 1v1 fighting games.
Mm,
So like yeah, straight across analog. So I love Street Fighter. I love
ooh,
Marvel versus Capcom. Those are the oldie favorites that you can find in the arcades.
okay. Well, tell us what your favorite arcade game is. Drop that in the comment box below. And I think, again, our special guest today is going to shed some fun light on arcade games.
For sure. Sweet. Well, we also have some really fun or we have a really fun trivia question with a prize. And so to warm you up, we have another one that you're like, we're going from arcades to sneakers, but we aren't. And so today's trivia question, if the first person to answer this correctly in the comments will get a prize directly to your house. I don't think I can send you this pair of shoes, but what pair of shoes catalyzed the sneakerhead movement? So if you get the year or just even like the type of shoe that'll get you the right answer.
Ooh, I like that. So if you get both, that could be like a double prize
Could be a double
potentially.
prize. I'm
Okay.
not. It won't be both pairs of shoes though, Michael. I don't think I can get these.
Can't do that. Well, dreamers and doers, here is our format we like to remind you of. Each week, we have the opportunity to sit down with someone that we would consider not only a dreamer, but also a doer. And again, when you're pursuing that big dream or that goal that you have, you're certainly going to encounter some kind of an obstacle or challenge along the way. And then we hope by hearing today's special guest story that it's going to only continue to encourage you to reach that big dream. So, Carolyn, if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm excited to meet today's dreamer and doer. His name is Caine Monroy.
In 2011, at the age of 9, Caine Monroy spent his summer vacation building an elaborate DIY cardboard arcade in his dad's used auto parts store in East Los Angeles, Caine's Arcade. Caine's cardboard arcade inspired a global movement to foster creativity in kids, leading to the annual Global Cardboard Challenge. Today, Caine is an active member of the Two Bit Circus Foundation's junior board. He's a freshman in college and enjoys traveling, sneakers, and inspiring creativity in kids everywhere. Hey, Caine.
Caine, how you doing this morning?
Good morning. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Well, thank you for waking up early this morning for us.
No problem. It's only 7 o'clock out here. I'm not sure what time it is right now, but it's not too bad.
Well, Caine, I don't know if you know this. We had a chance to talk a little bit before we went live, but your story, which we're going to get into here, just in our part of the country. So our small part of the country, Norman, Oklahoma, literally has inspired thousands of students. And so thank you for stepping out big as a 9-year-old, but you've been an incredible encouragement to a lot of students here in Norman.
It kind of when I built the arcade, I was just trying to follow one of my dreams of having an arcade business. Then seeing people as this is as seeing people to see my story as a like story of inspiration, and I don't know, and I like it how people see this as a way they can use their imagination. A lot of different ways you can look at the video. Like never give up, anything is possible. Doesn't matter what age you are, you can do anything at pretty much any age right now. Like you have everything on your phone you can do. So yeah.
I love that. Love it. Love it. Well, Caine, so, we've mentioned Caine's Arcade a few times, which is just, part of your story. But would you mind kind of sharing with us what it was like for you to grow up in East Los Angeles and what you were up to as a young kid?
The audio cut, so I couldn't really hear you guys. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
how about now? Can you hear me pretty clearly?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. But for the last 6 seconds, it was just like frozen. So I
Oh,
couldn't hear
okay.
anything.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you can hear me now. Well, Caine, if we're familiar with you because of a story that happened when you were 9, but can you share with us what it
It
was like
keeps
for you
freezing
to?
when you're talking.
Oh no. Let's see. Caine, can you hear me now?
I think talking about the story of Kinship Kate and how it happened, something like that. Yeah.
Did you hear him? Oh. So Caine, we were just asking like what it was like for you to grow up as a kid and what you
Okay.
were up to.
So as a kid, video game, video games, or to make some money or something, go to like Walmart or Target or Toys R Us, and I'll just spend like so much money on Legos, and I'll come home, and I wouldn't even do what the thing was about. I would just start making my own thing and like not following the instructions. I don't know, just use my imagination. Well, like a lot of kids these days, like they have like a certain ways to do something. But I feel like they should really leave it to the kid to see how they want to do it. And that's what really leads them to creativity and like thinking about themselves. Because you just follow what the thing says, you're only going to do what it says. But if you just start doing whatever your mind comes up with creativity, you're gonna come with something that you would have never thought about. You would have never done just by doing the instructions. So that's what I did with most of my Legos. Then I was always just very entrepreneurial. I always try to make some money. I always try to make some money or something. So I always had different businesses before the Caines Arcade, like the one everybody knows about, pretty much. And one of my first businesses was a snack cart. I was selling snacks in my dad's used auto parts store. It was made out of a skateboard and a box. Then that one kind of failed. So then I moved on to studying like sports stage, like something. It was something you put in your front yard. Saying like a Dodger fan lives here. It was made out of wood, and I was just like draw on it, saying a Dodger fan lives here. And so that was like another business. It wasn't too good either. Then I always loved arcades. I would play arcades pretty much almost every week. I'd go with my dad to go play an arcade. And when they school my dad's work, I would go to Shakey's, and Shakey's like not too far from my dad's work, and have pizza there and arcade games. Well, my dad would be like, "Oh, you just only want to go there because of the arcade games. You don't want to go eat there." I was like, "Yeah, I want to go eat there too." So that's where kind of got where I want to start my own arcade with like always playing arcade games and playing video games, always enjoying them. Just a place where you can just have fun. If you have problems, you won't have no problems playing these video games. You forget all about them. It could be good or bad.
Yeah. Kane, thanks for painting a picture of just like what it was like for you to grow up. And I think that that most likely connects with a lot of our students, whether they're, getting their hands into like a new business, if they're just selling lemonade or like I like what you did with your snack cart. But to even, of course, like I like what you said of just thinking outside the box. So like outside of the directions and the instructions, like to kind of build your creativity and see like what can happen from there, because I think that turned you into a really resourceful kid
Mhm.
and a
Mhm.
most likely adult. But yeah.
So, Kane, can you continue to paint a picture for us? I'm just trying to imagine this 9-year old, young boy who has an idea to do something fun with cardboard. And I mean, even thinking back to my childhood of some things that I did that were even entrepreneurial, but they lasted all about maybe 2 or 3 days. And then I moved on to something else. But your story is a little bit different. So, for the few people out there that maybe have not yet watched the YouTube video that went viral, can you kind of talk with us a little bit more just about the actual arcade itself, the cardboard arcade, but then ultimately what led it to go viral and receive the attention that it did?
So the cardboard arcade started with just only one game at first. So how I mentioned before was I used to go to Shakey's Pizza or play the arcade, and I actually won a prize of a little basketball hoop, like a very tiny one. So when I got back to my dad's work, I placed it onto a cardboard box and I made like a game out of it. So I made it to my basketball game. But for that game, I forgot how much I charged him to play. It was only like 10 cents. It was literally like nothing. And still nobody would play it. I wouldn't understand why nobody wants to play my basketball game. Like it was fun to me. I loved it. I always played it. Then I just moved on to a soccer game. I started making a soccer game. The soccer game I made it out of little soldier toys, and those were like the little goalies. Just like a soccer game, we flicked the. It was made out of a paper ball, and you just flick it. Then from there, I've gone to I don't know what game I went to after that, but I started to add like a skee ball machine. That one was actually one of my favorites, skee ball. Then I added a claw machine. That was another one of my favorites, and it's still one of my favorites to this day to play in an arcade. But most of them are rigged, but they're pretty fun to play. Um, I also like to. What else did I put? I try to add like a keymaster. I don't know if you know what a keymaster is. Do you guys know
No,
what a keymaster?
explain it to us.
So I think this is one of the most rigged games in an arcade. Like one of the most profitable games. But so I couldn't really make it because I didn't have any electrical work done to it, or like I don't know. I was just trying to use cardboard and like whatever I had, and what I had there wouldn't be able to make this game. It's you control So essentially, you try to make the key into it's a key, and try to make it into like a little hole, and opens up the box, and the toy like drops, or like the prize drops. It
Hmm.
could be like money, shoes, gift card. I don't know, maybe vacation. Maybe someone have vacations actually. But so what I did instead was I had little circles, and I had like a little pole, and you can only go right one time. So wherever you stop at, that's where you stop. Then you start going up. That's the same concept that the arcade one had, where you can only go right one time. Then once you stop going right, it stops right there. Then you start going up, then you let go. Then the key goes in to see if it makes it. And if not, you just like back out and it goes back to the thing. That's the same thing I had with my little pole. So you had a little pole, and you went to the right, you went up, then you went inside. But if you missed it, a lot of people can't cheat. They're just like move the pole around a little bit when they're going in. So I was like, okay, this game will have a little bit too much cheaters in it. So I'll have to like um, not have this in the arcade. So I took that one out. Then I tried to
So,
add some like Wheel of Fortune with like a fidget spinner at the bottom of it, but that didn't work either.
so Caine, all
And
this is coming out of the mind of a 9-year-old boy in his dad's auto parts store. So it starts from one game, you continue adding games, but
uh,
it's an arcade. And I think there's probably one thing that was missing, and it was actual customers playing your game. So can you talk with us about that? How did you start attracting your first customers for the arcade?
so I was building an arcade. I started building it at the beginning of my summer. Then I didn't have my first customer until like the end of my summer. But throughout the whole summer, I just kept on improving and adding new games. I was like, how come nobody wants to play my arcade games? Like they're pretty cheap. Like pretty much anybody can afford it. It's not that much. Then I was like, I kept always trying to improve it, how to make it more professional, how to have a better presentation. So first idea was, oh, maybe I should get a T-shirt saying Canes Arcade or something. So when I was on vacation one like last week before I went on back to school, I saw a T-shirt customization shop. I was like, I think that's a good place to get my shirt done right here. So I went down there, I got my shirt. It says staff right here, and it said Canes Arcade in the back. So I got that, and about 2 days later, I was back in Los Angeles at my arcade, and I started to wear my shirt to work. Then I had one of my first customers there. Then about 3 months later, we made a documentary.
Mhm.
Then the documentary was posted on YouTube, and it kind of went pretty viral. I went viral. People liked my story, and a lot of people liked how I don't know. A lot of people saw it differently, and they liked how they saw it, or like the story it told them, or like how they felt about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is awesome. I love just like the people that joined in, of course, and helped make it viral. And just noticing, like this is a really cool and wonderful thing. Like I think it's a project that was full of wonder. Would you say you had like what was your biggest takeaway from that experience?
Um, my biggest takeaway is, and advice that I actually give to people is, never give up. And anything is possible. Put the work in.
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason why I say that, a lot of people say it just to say it because they don't know what to say when they ask them for advice or something. And but for me, it's really like something that I actually did and actually like used in my life. I could have easily just gave up the arcade, like any of my other businesses, like the first month. But I was like, no, this is something I actually really liked, and just kept on improving it, improving it, improving it, adding new things, getting the t-shirt done, trying to make it more like professional. And I feel like whenever people ask me about something about their business, about something they're trying to build, I always tell them, always try to improve on it. I heard a saying that a boss would rather have a person that never finishes the work than somebody finishing the work.
Mm.
'Cause somebody that never finishes the work just keeps on improving it, improving it, improving it, adding something to it, changing one little thing, next week changing another thing, getting somebody to do some like trying to find a error with a game or something. Another person just, oh, okay, that's it. This game's done. That's the best I can do on it. So I tell people never give up,
Yeah, I
and
think the
that's my
timeline.
biggest takeaway. Never giving up on a goal or dream or something that I have.
I think the timeline part that you share is really, really important. And just
Mhm.
hearing that you kept working on it, or you had your first customer, and then it was like 3 months later when you had another thing happen. I think that
Mhm.
shows your persistence for sure. Because I think I would have given up uh, after day one. Like if no one showed up, honestly, like I would have just been like, "Well, shut it down, everybody." Like, so I think that's cool and just a really neat part of your story because and to show like you really stuck with one project
Mhm, mhm.
and to continue building upon it. When would you say you made the connection becoming like you're a maker for sure and then kind of incorporating then STEM into it?
Um, I feel like I never really did that in the arcade years when the arcade was open. I did that more like my middle school years. Because my middle school, I was in, I think it was STEM. I don't think it was like engineering. I think it was like STEM class in my middle school. And that's where they started teaching us more about robotics, soldering. I didn't really know any of this stuff. I was just using like cardboard and like whatever I could find. But now they started bringing out all these like fancy tools I've never really seen in my life before. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I started adding some things like that to my arcade. I was adding like some mortars. Like this is one game I'm trying to build where like you put the ball to the top and like you try to go through the maze. But it kind of failed, so I never really went on with that game. But that's where I started to add more STEM related stuff to it and more like science stuff, more technology to it. I added LED lights to it, but yeah.
That's cool.
Uh-huh.
Well, Kane, in case our viewers are curious, you retired the arcade at the ripe old age of 13 years old. So hold off on those airline tickets to go out to California to play the arcade. But now you're involved in some other stuff too. So we want to talk about just present day and just what Kane is up to today. So one of the things that you are involved with is you sit on the board of an organization called the 2-Bit Circus. So can you tell us just about that and what you do?
So Two-Bit Circus Foundation, I do public speaking for them also.
Mhm.
So I go to different various events. I've done like a teen summit before. I do like a little some corporate events also, and I also do like consulting work and telling them what is good, like to put in the schools, what is bad, how teenagers are gonna feel about it. We send different kits to school, and like we send the kits are about creativity, entrepreneurship, and just giving them the resources they need for like to build stuff. And a way you can learn more about it is you just look up Tuber Circus Foundation on the internet. Then I think it's tubercircus.com or tubercircusfoundation.com. And you could just go to the contact side or there's some information on there where you could just find to get in contact. We also have the Instagram, and the Instagram we just post about different things. Some of our members there, so you can probably see me on there sometimes. Like I don't know, like some speaking event or like something new that I built. We just post it on there, and we also there's two different sides of the Two Bit Circus Foundation. There's a Two Bit Circus and a Two Bit Circus Foundation. A Two Bit Circus, it's an arcade, restaurant, game room. I don't know. It's a pretty fun place to be at. But right now it's closed because of COVID and coronavirus and everything.
Mhm.
But it's in Art District, Los Angeles, and yeah. So anybody's in Los Angeles, they should come check it out. Two Bit
That's
Circus.
cool. So I think that kind of brings us to a good segue. You're a student, you're starting college tomorrow, and
Yep.
you've been witnessing the pandemic as a student. So can you,
Uh-huh.
like I know there's of course has been just a lot of struggle and hardship that's come along with the pandemic, but we've also been viewing this time as an opportunity to like rethink and reimagine education. And so, how do you think that we can use this time to really, reimagineer how we look at our education and how we do it?
It's a very hard question. I really don't know how to answer it, but I think a way we can redo our education, like fix it up a little bit, is adding more entrepreneurship stuff to the schools. And it's like I'm running a little business right now, like a shoe business. But if they would have told me about like in school, like taxes, tax write offs, um, what can be as tax deductions, stuff like that. I feel like that would be good for like kids and stuff, you know. But I feel like the school's kind of telling you who do you want to work for, this and that. Like work for somebody, you want to be teacher, lawyer, doctor, but they really don't teach you how to be a leader or be like the I don't know, like a leader, yeah, like know how to do the thing. So it's something that I had to learn on my own, and I feel like if we can add that to schools, and so people can be like leaders in the future of America, and leaders of the future of America, and leaders of the whole world, that would be a good way to do something to the educational side of the school, and also the distance learning, like with the Zoom stuff. At first, like last semester for my high school, that's when we had like the that's the first time I ever done like online school. It was pretty hard as a student because nobody used to it, and and especially the teachers too. The teachers were also used to it. It was hard for both of us, and I feel like for college now, I feel like they might have done some training to professors or teachers over the summer, or that district has actually gave them what to do and like made it more powerful so students can be more engaged into the lesson.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm happy or excited to see on my first day of college and throughout the whole semester. The online learning, how it's going to be different.
No, that's really good. I love the piece that you shared just about leadership, leadership skills, and really translating that. It sounds like into, I mean, because you're talking about taxes and really applying it into like real life experiences. Caine, you've had an opportunity, a unique opportunity at a young age to already see something go viral.
Uh,
Is there anything else right now, if you had an opportunity to see go viral, what would it be? I don't know. You mentioned you may have a side hustle going on right now with some shoes, but is there anything on your
um,
heart right now that you would really like to see get to the masses?
I like to see my dog go viral. He has like special powers. Nah, I'm just kidding. Um, probably like a local problem or something, like a problem in my community or my city, something like even like a good story, like somebody has a really good story, or even like a sad story too. Something where like the viralness, like the viral can help them, like how it helped me with arcade. Like a lot of things go viral, but it can also be like a lot of negative stuff. So like if there's too much negative stuff going viral, it's like bad and like it could influence people in a bad way. So something positive. I'm not sure what I don't know what I should make go viral, but something positive going viral, especially right now.
Yeah.
That's what people need. So like even like a meme or something like something like that, like it'd be a good thing right now. People can laugh and like share with their friends. So something positive, like a local problem, something like that.
I dig it. You're definitely an optimist for sure. We're on the same team. Um, so we wanted to ask if you could talk to your middle school self. What is a piece of advice that you would give to your middle school self?
Um, live below your means. That's something I'll give to myself. You want me to go explain it or how I?
I think so. Yeah, go
Okay.
into it for a little bit.
So I was watching a lot of videos in my business class in high school. Our business teacher really taught us, like literally like slammed it in our head, like live below your means, live below your means, live below your means. And so that can mean like as a teenager or high school, you can start working. And when you start working, you finally get like a couple $100 in. So like, I don't know, like $300 a week. And a lot of people just like spend it. Like high school would just spend on clothes, shoes, like just like dumb stuff. Not dumb stuff, but like stuff that you shouldn't really spend that much money on. And live below your means, it's like we only spend like a fraction of the money you earn or you make, and the rest you save it, invest it, and you try to just grow it. And it's like being humble. Like you also be humble within the below live below your means. So the reason why I tell this to my middle school self is I would start investing early. I don't know if I'll be able to learn about investing that young, but now I'm have like the basic knowledge of it. But I'll start seeing a lot more money. I wouldn't spend too much money on Legos. I would say in my middle school self, I spent a ridiculous amount of money on Legos. So I wouldn't spend too much money on Legos. And now I have like a pretty good like I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good with my money. Like I know how to not spend it correctly, and I'm just a little below my means right now. So That's what I'm proud of myself right now.
I
A lot
love
of
it.
people won't learn that until like really later on in life, and they're either learning it the hard way, like lose a lot of money, and I'm happy that I learned it right now. So that's something a lot of people should research about living below your means. I don't know how to explain it that well, but you just gotta watch a really good video, then it's really in your head, and then like you're set, you're good. Yeah.
So good. Live below your means. Be humble. Do you by chance have politics in your future, Caine?
If I want to be like a politician or something older,
I don't know. Could that be part of your future?
um, no and yes. I love to have like a politician. You have like a lot of people look up to a lot if you do something bad, or people always try to find a way they could I don't know, say something bad about you, or if you say something, they'll try to switch you up and like publish it, so it'll be like fake news or something. So I would just like to be very hidden, or like I don't know, I just like to be very normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Caine, you've shared already a lot of great thoughts, and we like to begin to wrap up our link up interview, turning it back over to you. And we call this our last minute link. And this is where we like to give you 1 minute. Carolyn should have her stopwatch or phone with her. And it's going to be an opportunity for you just to be able to link it all up together and share whatever is on your heart for just 1 minute to encourage the big dream inside of all of us. So, Caine, are you ready?
It's gonna be kind of tricky. This is one of every first time I ever asked to do this, but I am ready.
All right, and set and go.
So to all students, all teachers, and dreamers, and everybody that's just has a goal, you should never give up. You should never really someone has an opinion on it and tells you, "Oh, that's like terrible. That would fail. You won't make any money. That business will never do well." You should always just do whatever you feel inside yourself and whatever you think is right. So if you're trying to start a new business, always find a way to try, always try to improve it. Never give up on it and never finish the work. Always keep on improving it. It may be something small and it can be something big. You can be working on your project for 5 years. And the sixth year will be the year you blow up and you change the world. So if you quit on the second year, you trying to go back to it again, you'll be back at 0 years. You have to restart again. So never give up on your missions. And if you have a lot of projects, try to stick to one. It's like when you're digging a hole. If you try to dig 5 different holes, it's going to take a long time to make all the 5 holes deep. So if you just dig one hole at a time and you make it really deep, that's the name of your business, your project, or whatever you're trying to build. You try to focus on one mission first. Really try to go like in the max, or like try to put all your effort in, see what you can do. And if you really found out, or like you really like know that it's not gonna work out, then that's when you move on. But if you're really trying to like run 5 different things at a time, it's gonna be very hard because you can't put you can't put all the attention to all 5 of them. Just try to focus on one. Doesn't work out, move on to the other one, and from there, then live below your means. So if you have a very if you live below your means in early on age and you learn how to work your money, and a lot of people work paycheck to paycheck, and they have things that they can't afford or various things. So if you live below your means and try to create a budget, it could be like a simple one, 50, 30, 20, where you like save 50% of it, or like maybe you just like kind of you just kind of fit whatever fits most to you, or what fits most to you, or like what best fits you. And be humble, give back with no strings attached. A lot of people give back, but they give back with like intentions of getting more later. Like the only reason they give back is to I don't know, like they expect more in life or something. So give back with no strings attached. Um, I think that's it. That's stuff that I live by. So yeah.
Awesome. Caine, thank
It's
you
good.
so much for just sharing that. So I'm gonna recap some of that. Students, parents, whoever is out there listening, do not give up. You don't know when you're gonna get your big break. It might not be in year one, it might be year two. So definitely don't give up in that first year. Also, of course, is be humble, live below your means, and also keep improving on whatever you're working on, and keep that persistence up. Sweet.
That's good. Well, Kane, we're going to give you just a short break, so don't go too far. And viewers, this is an opportunity for you. If you have any questions for Kane, I know we have already had a couple that have come in. Just drop those in the chat box below. But Carol and I would like to take just a few minutes, of course, with the fall here. It's not like approaching Carolyn, but fall is here. School is starting back up. And we have a brand new digital leadership opportunity. So, speaking of digital leadership and student engagement, that's called At Home Leadership. And Carolyn, this is something our team's been working on since March. And so tell us a little bit about that, and then also to this week's special episode.
For sure. So we launched Atlo Home Leadership, which is a digital leadership platform. And so we release weekly lessons. And what those lessons do is they help, of course, build your leadership, your character, and they're also going to challenge you to help you find what your role is in this world and how you can be a positive change. This week, we're actually releasing our 20th lesson in a block of lessons we call How To. And so it's a how to be on social media, which I know most of our students, it seems like they're all on social media.
Mhm.
And some of you guys are still waiting, which I think is great. But what the whole lesson is about is what's the etiquette with social media. So we talk about like anti-bullying and anti-harassing, but we also talk about how to keep you safe, of course, and then also what's on your feed. Like, is your feed what's going to really feed you and actually be a positive place for you, or is it draining you? And how do we then curate or change our feed so that it's a positive source for us and not just a source of anxiety or jealousy or FOMO, whatever it is, but really like how do we navigate social media and how do we do it on our terms?
So we have that and 19 other sessions just like that for your student to be able to engage in. And right now, for a limited time, it is absolutely free.
Yes,
So
jump in now.
yeah, jump in now. Visit our website, loveworksleadership.org, and check that out under all things digital resources. Carolyn, I am ready to get into some questions.
Let's do it. So, got some questions here. So, this one is Kane, how can schools get involved in the Global Cardboard Challenge?
So, how schools can get involved is to visit the Two-Bit Circus Foundation website, and that's where you can find all the information you need. You just go throughout the tabs, and you just find the information that you need. There's like contact information, phone number. There's everything on there that you need to get your questions asked, and yeah, somebody will get back to you if you email them or you call them. Yeah.
So I bet you have been sent some pictures of some really incredible cardboard creations. Can you tell us some of like your favorites over the years?
Um, One of them was like a printer machine where the kid was inside the box, and you open up the box, you paste the paper inside, and the kid inside would copy whatever is on the paper. So that was one of my favorite ones, a printer machine.
I love that.
um,
So
the
cute.
ink. Well, the good thing about it was I would like to buy one of those because the ink would be a lot less uh, and less expensive. It wouldn't be too expensive. A pen could keep on writing forever. And what's another good one? A piano. The piano was actually really, really good. It was actually I don't know how they really made it. I think I knew how they made it, but I forgot how they made it. But it actually worked how real piano would work. They had like strings attached to it and stuff. So like whenever you click on one, the whole like it will sound pretty nice.
Cool.
So that's two of my favorite projects I've seen people build.
That's good. Caden, we have another question here. What kept you going when you wanted to give up on your dream?
Um, I knew if I gave up right now, that if I wanted to start another business, I would be at the bottom again. I'd have to work back up. So I'm like, okay, I'm already like, I don't know, like 20% done here. Or like, why not just go all the way? Like, put in all the work into this and see what happens. Like, consistent. That's what I did in this. And that's what kind of like like that's what my dad told me, like never give up, and that's what I did with the arcade, and I never gave up.
Mm.
And within like 6 months later, 7 months later, that's when the documentary had came out. So that's when I knew never giving up was actually something good to live by and actually do.
I love it. You have a question? No? You have a question from our studio? Okay.
Carol, we're going to close out with just one more question. Caine, can you tell us about one more big dream that you have on your heart? So, is there a big dream, something that you're thinking about for the future?
A big dream, probably to have a real Canes arcade or another Canes arcade.
Mm.
I want to try to make it like worldwide, so like everywhere, like every country we go to on vacation, there's gonna be a Canes arcade there. That's like one of my biggest dreams to have. I want to for sure have one in Los Angeles like first. Then I'll slowly start to like grow out. But that's one of my dreams to have when I'm older.
Okay, and that is awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. Appreciate just getting up early. I know it's your first day of college tomorrow, but you're with us. And I know I already shared this with you, and Carolyn has too, but you have literally influenced more people than you even realize just here in the state of Oklahoma. We know worldwide, still the best is yet to come for your future. So thank you for making us better this morning.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this. The best way to spend my last summer break, my last day in summer.
Aw.
Oh, that warms our hearts for sure. Well, we hope you enjoyed this interview with another dreamer and doer, Caine Monroy. We do want to remind you about next week, and so every Monday we sit down with a dreamer and doer. And in the month of August, we've been reimagining education. We've had an opportunity to sit down with individuals that are doing, Carolyn, some really cool stuff that would be considered non-traditional in the realm of education, and really creating opportunities to bring what students are learning in the classroom and applying it to real life experiences. And just like Caine was mentioning, and I can't think of someone better for us to sit down with and for you to listen to than our friend Scott Martin. Scott Martin started a school in Oklahoma City called Leadership Odyssey, where he is innovating just traditional approaches to classroom and experiential learning. And it's definitely something that we don't want you to miss. So mark down next Monday with Scott Martin at 9 a.m.
And just a reminder, you can find all of our digital resources, including at home leadership and our other link episodes at loveworksleadership.org. So make sure that you do that today.
Absolutely. And remember, real leaders, they don't blend in, but they stand out
Dream big.
and do your dream.